Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Damn, no we're not. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'll never know.
Nope. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in the not consolation match, but the losers match. Unfortunately, one of these players will be going home tonight. It is going to be the blue player spawning in the bottom left corner, representing Team Ascension. It is MyDarling.
And her opponent in the top right. He was looking very strong beforehand, but being knocked down by Stardust, who's already advanced. In the red, representing Root Gaming, it's the Terran player SuperNova.
Yeah.
And he is, I mean, already, not someone I'd heard of before, or someone I'd heard of, but someone I'd never actually had the opportunity to cast and really study in detail until today. And already, I would say that I'm a fan, because the way he dealt, especially that game against Stardust with the very painful Widow Mine, I'm highly approve of that. I mean, it hurt me in my heart places, but it was a well played game by him. Respect to that man.
The holds, right? Like it really takes a level of composure and just, you know, crisis management to be able to hold a blink all in, especially after losing to it in the game number 1, and then getting a Foxtrot Labs and holding it again. Oh my God, Foxtrot Labs is like infinitely worse for blink. I mean, like for the Terran, I would say, just with how many little ways you can get in there and the wide open natural.
But you know, the stars aligned. It worked out.
Yeah, and looks like Stardust was playing the role of the SuperNova.
Exactly.
Soup de whoop.
Yeah,
oh, baby.
He went up in flames.
He did.
Yes.
But he did come back to be reignited in this Lazarus match, which is going to be against this other Terran in the group, MyDarling. And you was talking about how funny it is to say, like, MyDarling, and what happens if you, like, have to cast your significant other against MyDarling? Then what happens? Whoa.
I think that's I think you're cheating at that point.
That's cheating, right?
Yeah,
it's on the internet, too. Like, she has proof and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, at that point, I think your relationship is just destined for failure.
Yep. Oh, man.
I just get a message after the cast, and like, I didn't know which one you were talking about, but I was very upset during parts of that. You know, especially if you showed bias, like, against...
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
No, I swear, MyDarling, I was... Why did you say that?
No! It's all falling apart for us. So, SuperNova poking in with that Reaper, doing a little bit of harassment. But this is actually a late Reaper. We saw the Marine followed by Reaper, followed by Hellion out of him. And actually using this in a really funky little attack. Just shoving up the ramp, trying to do a bit of damage, losing that Hellion, but already doing a little bit of work against the forces of MyDarling. And actually, it could turn out that with the Reaper regen, when running back into harass, this could go in... another Hellion as well. Could end up going quite significantly in SuperNova's favor on the second push in. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Oh my God.
What actually does MyDarling have that can stop this? This is 3 units. This is too early game. This doesn't happen. This is the full gate of Terran. This
is like just, you know, 4 lings getting into your base when you go forwards, fast expand as a Protoss, and just picking off lings left and right as a... Well, luckily for MyDarling, that Reaper does get taken out, and a Hellion comes out for her as well.
Yeah.
But 4 workers were killed there, and the bunker was cancelled.
Yeah, that was a nice little attack out of SuperNova, just hitting an excellent timing and kind of striking at the precise moment that MyDarling was weak.
Yeah, really nice. And what is she going to do to follow this up? Looks like a Viking is coming out of this starport, maybe anticipating the Banshee. But look, hey, the Banshee is on the way here for SuperNova. She did scan and saw that, so that may be the reason why she decided to do it, because it looks like she was planning to go Banshee herself, but she doesn't have a turret. And the Banshee is here, Cloak is already done. And there is a scan.
Viking.
Yep, there is a scan, so might be a little bit too early, though. She's just going to go for it.
Yeah, SuperNova's going to get that out. So, I mean, there is a second command center, though. That's about to have a scan. Scan now.
Should be able to take it out. As that Banshee being annoying, taking out that supply depot. And here it goes, Viking right on top of the Banshee. Good job. But, oh, MyDarling trying to get some damage of her own done with these Hellions. Gonna lose one of them to a Widow Mine. And things semi-stabilized there, except the only difference here is that, of course, SuperNova is mining from his natural. And MyDarling isn't. Of course, SuperNova does have a little bit more in army supply as well as worker supply. He just, oh my god, actually, he's just gonna go in for the kill. There's 3 Hellions here, and the Banshee still.
Just walks straight up the ramp. I mean, we've got a Raven here to add to the defense, obviously revealing that invisible Banshee, dropping down the point defense drone as well. Not point defense drone, the other one. The one that defends points but in a different way.
Yep.
Sneaky Widow Mine! Sneaky Widow Mine!
Yeah, really nice.
See, you often see like really good players where they hide a Widow Mine in a crafty location and no one sees it coming. Like it just does damage that you do not expect to come, and even a caster with the benefit of their vision is taken completely by surprise.
Yeah, you just see it go off, and you can even see the player's reaction at the last second. It's like, oh, whoa, I did not see that, and they try to like swerve out of the way of it, but you can't escape it at that point unless you have lightning fast reflexes and have blink as well. Those are the 2 tools you need. So
yeah. So basically, if you're parting, you might get away with it.
You might, yeah.
Yeah, if you're lucky. But even parting gets caught out sometimes. SuperNova is going to sit himself in front of the natural, get himself all fixed up, adding some Vikings into the composition, of course, which will allow him to deal with the the air units of MyDarling. So those Vikings, those Ravens especially, if you mix in the Raven to the composition, you want to have something to deal with your opponent's Ravens. Otherwise, you just end up in that kind of spellcaster war that you sometimes saw in old days ZVZ that was a bit horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looking at both of the players, and they both are going mech, so SuperNova is setting up to go mech, but he's just a little bit ahead. You know, he has a greater Hellion count. He has Blue Flame on the way. Don't know if he has siege tanks yet, though. It looks like, MyDarling is going for the siege tank route, while SuperNova is just making a bunch of Hellions, and just now adding the siege tanks. He's getting Blue Flame, though, too, so his Hellions are going to be able to rule on the ground as long as they're out of siege tank fire. Whoa. So
they're not out of siege tank fire anymore.
Nope. What are they going to do?
Oh,
Air Dominance is going to be going here to SuperNova, going to take out that Raven, and is he going to go in? He doesn't care. He's going to go right in as the Banshee takes out the siege tank.
No, he doesn't care one bit. MyDarling calling GG straight away, knowing that it just can't be dealt with. Alrighty, folks, we return to King Sejong Station for the second game of this TVT series. We've got in the bottom right, in the blue, representing Root, and up one game in the series, looking pretty dominant, I gotta say. It's SuperNova.
And his opponent spawning on the opposite side of the map, on the top left, representing Team Ascension. It is going to be the Red Terran player fighting from a 0-1 deficit. It is MyDarling.
So, wondering what we're going to see out of our Red Terran. MyDarling obviously not quite making it work last time. And I don't know what she's going to try to pull it out on this occasion. It's like...
Looks like it's going to have to be a defense of some sort, because SuperNova is proxying out a tech lab on this barracks that he has put on this side of the map. And this is a very aggressive proxy, too. Like...
That is true. That is a fairly aggressive proxy.
What is MyDarling going to do? She's going to open up with the Marine. She's been opening up with this gas into a factory as opposed to getting the Reaper. So when does she actually see this coming? It's probably going to be when those Marauders are already on the way. One is in production, Concussive Shell as well. And we are going to see that kind of play that we saw from SuperNova, in the sense that he likes to go ahead and throw her off in the beginning of the game, and then just do whatever he wants during the rest of the game because of the amount of damage that he was able to do.
Yeah. And that works, you know? It is just that way of throwing people off we talked about earlier tonight, I think in one of the Nesty games, but actually, at this point, SuperNova is the one doing it and it's going to run in, just start. Yeah, it was Nesty versus MyDarling. So again, just Koreans messing with MyDarling's jam at this point. But the Marauders are going to move up the ramp, start trying to ruin some SCV's day. Already getting a couple of kills to their Naya, 2 kills done, and only 1 retaliation out of MyDarling. So these Marauders are going to keep pulling back and doing the damage, and it's going to be increasingly hard to actually repair or do anything because these SCV counts are already dropping.
It's dropping so much right now. She's losing so many, but a Widowmine is going to be able to get in position and kind of stop this for a bit. And even that engineering bay placed down by SuperNova so that a full wall maybe not being able to go off or another bunker. But interesting choice. He just puts it there, and now the Widowmine is going to be able to, as well as his bunker. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. She lost a few workers, though. 6 workers to 1. Oh, a scan, though, is going to be able to see the Widowmine, and it goes down.
It's gone.
There are only 2 Marines in there, but that's a bunker. You don't really want to mess around with that at the moment. Or does he? I don't know. I was going to see, because Supernovas can be crazy sometimes. But no, he's going to float on home.
Well, no, he's drifting that barracks back, and that does leave that kind of opening for MyDarling to try and put some pressure on. But actually, the damage dealt to the forces as well by SuperNova kind of means that MyDarling doesn't have that much of an opportunity. Instead, just opting to send a Banshee after those Marauders. They can't shoot up. It's as good as opportunity as any.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the best thing that MyDarling could do here, and that's actually a very smart move. After losing quite a bit, it's just like, all right, well, I still have the tech advantage, so. SuperNova is going to go ahead and get a reactor on his factory himself, as well as the starport. And we saw him go mech last time, so maybe he is just going to be getting a, I don't know. We see the reactor, not a tech lab, so it's not going to be Banshee there. And, I mean, he wasn't able to put the tech lab on his barracks because it was on the other side of the map. So he's just going to go ahead and get a Viking. Wondering if we were going to see some kind of like Widowmine drop, because he does have Widowmines coming out, but he has a Viking here in order to deal with a potential Banshee. Don't know if he saw the starport. He saw a tech lab when he did that attack, by the way. So maybe he was like, what would screw me over after I went Marauders? And Banshee is definitely on that high list of things that would screw me over for sure.
Yep, and that's why that Viking is going to be out to defend against the Banshee to chase it off. We've got Widows, full anti-Banshee defense out of SuperNova, and is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I even like the fact that he put the turret down by its natural position already. Like, that is so smart. You know, the Banshee already flew into it, didn't realize that it was going to be there, probably focusing on the main. And then it's like, shoot, I'm already been revealed. And what am I going to do? Try to get a bit of damage done, but that's an investment that was supposed to kind of pay back for those Marauders. So, sucks. Definitely not a good position to be in, especially after that, but it's not like she's out of the game by any means. You know, she is just kind of thinking about what her new game plan should be. A 3rd command center, though, is a very, very ballsy move. So, especially at this stage, it's a very greedy move, I would say. Because SuperNova is not looking like he wants to do that at all. He's adding another factory, and he's going Cloak Banshee himself. Wait, he canceled that Cloak. Did he?
Yeah, he's actually getting a Raven out.
Now he is, yeah.
Yeah,
so maybe, I like that. I think what he did was he was researching it, and then when MyDarling came in with that Banshee, it looked like it was researching Cloak, expecting Cloak Banshees, and then just be like, nope. Going full mech.
Oh, really? He's a mech player, isn't he, SuperNova? He tends to go for that.
Yeah, SuperNova loves his mech. So, a micro! The micro!
I was wondering if he was going to get that, but it didn't quite make it. SuperNova forced to pull that Hellion back, but neither player losing either of them. So, you know, and when an unstoppable force of 2 Hellions meets an immovable force of 2 Hellions, we know that neither one of them wins and they both go home.
Yeah, and then hope that his commander builds a armory so that they can try again as a Hellbat.
I'm not even sure. Hellions beat Hellbats because they can outmaneuver them too much.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, I failed as a Hellion. It's time to go ahead and try my luck as something else.
Yeah. Only Zerg normally has that kind of potential.
Yeah. Except maybe the Mothership core and the Mothership, but
True.
I think that's the only way.
True.
Warp Prism in regular mode, or what is it, phase mode?
Templar to Archon. Templar to Archon.
True.
Yeah. There's a few morphs going on there. At this point, SuperNova might be trying to morph into winning the game, though, because he's moving out with 5 Hellions, with 3 Vikings, and with a Raven, trying to confront this more kind of meager force at the front for MyDarling, with fewer Hellions, with fewer Vikings, same amount of Ravens, though, which is always nice, and just a bunker. And I'm not sure if, with this many Hellions, and the 3 Marauders now backing the whole force up, that this isn't just going to be GG game over.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is pretty scary. She's doesn't have a tank out just yet, but she is making one. And I feel like that tank would make a really big difference. But what we're going to see here, luckily for MyDarling, is that not many of these... like the point defense drone that SuperNova would put down wouldn't do too much, because I mean she already has less Vikings, so she's gonna lose that fight. But if she puts a point defense drone, that means the Marauders aren't gonna be able to actually do too much in this fight. So we'll see if she decides to use that. Oh no, they're gonna lose her Hellions though. And here it comes, just gonna be an auto turret coming down. Point defense drone here
so
for
critical.
MyDarling. Oh, but
the auto turret drew the tank fire, so actually what that did was it drew it away, but actually I think these SCVs coming in, healing up the tank, just about saving MyDarling for now.
Oh, so really nice save there from MyDarling. But SuperNova going to be getting his 3rd base. Keep in mind, MyDarling already took her 3rd base, so surviving that attack is kind of a bigger deal than it even looks, because she will be able to continue to make those SCVs, but she's never able to get ahead economically to just overtake SuperNova, or overtake SuperNova, I guess, too, but it's not what I was even trying to say. She just can't get that. Oh my god, these Vikings don't care. They're just going to go in, say, I'm in your house, floating, seeing exactly what's going on. And I don't know if he saw that there was a 3rd base. He did, so... Jeez. He's just ahead. I'm surprisingly ahead. Got our 3rd base so much faster, but just hasn't been able to mine from it. Perhaps being a little bit nervous about the potential attacks from SuperNova.
I'm weighing it up, actually, because it shouldn't really have happened, but I think it was that moment where the Hellions... It was the moment where the Hellions were attacking that tank, when all the SCVs were clustered around it, because he did lose a lot of Hellions there, but actually took out a few SCVs as well. So that might have made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he's looking pretty good, SuperNova. He's already mining from the gas at his 3rd. And MyDarling is moving out onto the map. They both have the blue flame upgrade, so it's not like any of these Hellions have a real advantage on each other, except for the fact that, no, I was going to say that one of them had +1, but it looks like they're on equal upgrades. Just that SuperNova's on his way to get that +1. Gonna go ahead and make this a point of contention, as these rocks are going to be under fire soon. But MyDarling has mustered up a decent air force, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so, but here comes some nice secret missiles. Gonna go down on those tanks, and it will get... Oh, no kills on any of them.
No, that was important, and then it just ended up not happening. So that tank force that's still being left alive is going to be cleaned up by the remains of MyDarling's army. But still, I mean, you can't help but think that SuperNova's ahead. His production is just superior. The macro is way ahead of MyDarling, who hasn't managed to really saturate that 3rd base. So even if this mech force of MyDarling pushes out, which it isn't going to do because it's too scared, it knows at this point that SuperNova's Remax wave will turn up and clean it up. But I actually kind of think if there had been a little bit of an attack out of MyDarling, we might have seen something go down there.
I mean, I think so. I would wonder what would happen, though, too, because I think... oh, no, SuperNova didn't get his +1 just yet. He's just now getting it, so... This is just that stage of the game where SuperNova's ahead, and MyDarling is just trying to macro, but from a position of being behind. So the longer this goes, this is just not as good for her. Just because SuperNova is ahead and will continue to stay ahead unless she does something in order to try to equalize. Even just taking a good engagement when the tanks are not seized would be nice, but that doesn't usually happen unless you make a really big error. So it's not like it's Bio versus Mech where you can just stem in a bunch of Marines and Marauders and catch them unseized. You actually have to siege up in order to do that kind of damage. So she definitely would like to do something in order to equalize or just get ahead, because at the rate of things are going now, it's not going to be very good for her. If she just continues to sit back and defend or just make stuff. Like you have to taking
Yeah.
another base. Dude, I don't know. I don't even know what it is that you can do. Hellbat drops, maybe.
That could work, actually. Innovation loves his Hellbat drops, after all.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the way to go. But at this point, not seeing any Hellbat drops, not seeing any medevacs in production at all. It's just straight mech versus mech. But Supernova's going for the Hellbat drops. This is the innovation strat. This is where
There's
you
a
fly
lot
in
of
those Hellbats and
I like
land them down.
He is going to the main side. MyDarling does have a higher tank count, but if she doesn't see this coming, she's going to lose so many SCVs. Oh my god, there's nothing here. No turret. No nada.
Here's the drops.
It's actually seizing up later than MyDarling. She has a superior position, but does not have the air dominance, does she? She does have the air dominance. No, that's SuperNova. Oh my god, never mind. Oh, so she's losing everything in the main. And also, oh my god.
That's it. That's the one.
That is going to be it. No, I actually confused them for a minute. I was like, at least... Oh, wait. Nope, never mind.
Yep.